Japan is hot right now. The food, the history, the people. There's a million good reasons to visit Japan, and everyone seems to know it. A lot of people think it's a problem. Even the Japanese Prime Minister is talking about it. But more than that, it's a problem for you. So many people lie to themselves that they're having fun when they go traveling. Then you find yourself waiting in line to take the same picture as everyone else, and it sucks. I'm saying traveling instead of vacation here, because there is a difference. You go on vacation to relax. You go traveling to experience the world, to learn something. It doesn't have to be comfortable or even fun, as long as it's real. But when somewhere blows up, it stops feeling real. And then what's the point? This is my dad, Greg, and this is his first time in Japan. And his first time in Asia, for that matter. He doesn't use Instagram, doesn't know what an algorithm is, and he hates feeling like a tourist, so I had a lot of freedom to plan the perfect trip for us, as long as it was cheap and authentic. Luckily for him, Japan was the first country I traveled solo in, and it's my third time here. These are the Japanese Alps, and we were a little bit disappointed by how similar they look to Colorado. It was only the beginning of our trip, and I was already starting to worry that the reason this place isn't well known is because it's not as cool as the famous parts of Japan. But then, I got lucky.
So we just stopped on the side of the road to take a picture. And there's monkeys on the side of the road. We didn't even know they were there.
The main reason we decided to see Japan by car was so we'd have the freedom to explore and get away from the cities. It paid off immediately. Japanese macaques are the northernmost primates other than humans, and even though they're common in most of Japan, it's rare to see them outside of a park. We didn't hang out too long with these monkeys because we were on our way to the famous Jigokudani monkey park, where you can see them swimming in hot springs. But that was a mistake.
So we're at the Jigokudani monkey park. It's pretty sweet, but it definitely got ruined a little bit by the fact that we just found monkeys organically in the wild on our drive over here. And now sharing it with a bunch of other people. It's still cool, but it's like, I feel like we got the real deal beforehand. I did not realize that the monkey hot springs were built by people for the monkeys. And now I'm super curious if there are any like natural monkey hot springs around here that maybe people don't go to or don't know about. But Greg's still loving it.
The funny part about this is that the monkeys we saw on the side of the mountain are probably a part of the same troop that is down here by the hot springs, which is probably why the monkeys on the side of the road were so relaxed around us. Realizing this kind of ruined it for me, but only a little. The rest of our trip in Japan has kept happening to us. The harder we looked for something worth seeing, the cheaper it seemed. All right, we just got out of 7-Eleven. We got a couple snacks. Back on the road. Dad accidentally ordered a hot dog on a stick. It's pretty good though.
No, I ordered the pork bun. My second one is great. And the language barrier, so she had this wrapped up. And then she got the pork bun. But she was very, very nice, like all the people we've met here. I used to drive from 2nd and Clement in San Francisco all the way to Chinatown and back to buy a pork bun to San Francisco. Like I'd take 3 hours to go get one of these, and they had them there, and they're just as good. They're perfect at a convenience store, which is, notorious for having bad stuff that is quick with preservatives. My second pork bun.
It's about 10:30 at night. We were asleep for 2 hours. But my dad was drinking matcha before bed, so he couldn't sleep. So he's dragging me out to a bar, which is good because we need to get adjusted to the new time zone, but I'm so tired. He said we were right awake. We needed 15 minutes, maybe 2 hours.
Of course, we ended up at a British pub. This is a little town in Nagano. There's nothing wrong with it, but it was basically just a rest stop on our itinerary. Even the people we met around town were surprised that we were here. In many ways, my dad is an OG hipster. He's never been in a Starbucks, eats exclusively local when he travels. You can be damn sure we wouldn't be having any McDonald's on this trip. He does have one soft spot though, British pubs, or Irish pubs if they're around. Why does he love this tacky global thing? because they're built for yapping with strangers, and he loves yapping.
My dad's been trying to learn how to say please in Japanese for 10 minutes now. And we brought in reinforcements.
Just like ki means clean, or other means.
This is Hiroshi. He's an arborist. The jacket he's wearing is called a hansen. He custom orders them for himself and his coworkers because he likes them, and he wants to bring back Japanese fashion.
Yeah, he made these for his cousin.
This one here only 10 in the world. Yeah, 10.
Only 10 in the world.
You
Look cool.
take one.
Oh, no, no, because you get...
This was our second night in Japan, and we'd already met someone so nice that they were literally trying to give the coat off their back to my dad. Pains me to say this, but this was probably the most authentic experience we had in Japan, just in a little British pub drinking Guinness. But I'm not surprised at all that it happened in Nagano. There's no tourist industry here, so you can chat with locals without it being transactional.
So the snow is making everything so beautiful, but I gotta say, it doesn't really make up for the fact that it's obscuring the mountains. I'm sort of in the Yosemite of Japan right now, and you can't see a thing other than the beautiful river. So it's still nice, but definitely check the weather if you're planning on coming here. So if you can just use your imagination, that is Japan's third highest peak, and its second highest peak's like down there. It's funny, all the content you see about Japan is so symmetrical and Instagram and beautiful, and I really want to try and make a different kind of video about this place. But the whole country is just so pretty and neat and tidy, and everything just looks so good. The buildings really match the environment, and the environment, there's tons of plants everywhere, so it doesn't really ever look dirty. It's all just covered in moss and bamboo. I don't know, it's like this country was built to be photographed.
It's a beautiful little place. Look at the view and everything. And anyway, I had to use the restroom, so I went in, but I opened the door, and it was dark in there, but the toilet seat went up. Lights came on. Scared the hell out of me for a second.
They say Japan's one of the most crowded islands on the whole planet, but not here. So we've been driving through all these little fishing villages on the Sea of Japan on the north side of the island, and it's insanely beautiful. The water's crystal clear. It's gorgeous forests right next to the water, and we haven't seen anyone. There's only a couple fishermen and the guy running the aquarium. It's awesome.
We experienced some amazing onsen on this drive that I'm saving for a later video. And if you want to learn more about Japan's incredible hot spring or onsen culture, don't forget to subscribe.
Having a slight delay here while my co-pilot figures out the directions and also how to use a phone.
Different opinion.
What do you got there?
Spicy grilled kamaboko fish cakes.
Nice. And what's in your lap?
Little chocolate. Very good.
As we drove through the countryside, we passed a lot of rice farming. My grandpa and my dad for a while were both corn and soybean farmers in Iowa. I'd say it was just as interesting for us to see how Japanese tractors navigate the muddy rice paddies without getting stuck as any of the tourist attractions we'd seen so far. We spent a good amount of time just watching them until they get weirded out and we felt like we had to leave.
No, the map looks like we're going to an Amish village, but it's not Amish. It's corn country.
A lot of people are disappointed on their first trip to Japan by the lack of quote-unquote Japanese architecture. We come looking for the beautiful tiled roofs and gardens that inspired Frank Lloyd Wright, but the major cities are all high-rises, so you never see any. I wanted to avoid that disappointment from my dad, and I read online that this was an authentic village with authentic architecture.
So we're walking through the traditional village of Kayabuki-no-Sato. It's a lot of thatched roofs, very beautiful, but it's really nothing to do here. Just a little tourist town, just fun to look at, take pictures of. My dad brought up a good point that it feels pretty bad for the people who live here because we all just come here and walk around their town for no apparent reason except to look at it. It's very cute. Definitely the most Instagram destination we've been to so far.
The United Nations Tourism Department has celebrated Kayabuki-no-Sato as a model for sustainable tourism and a living, breathing open-air museum. On the drive here, we've been through at least 20 authentic Japanese villages, with plenty of beautifully tiled roofs and inspiring gardens. Just trying so hard to avoid the tourist traps, but so was everyone else, and we all ended up in one because of it. This is what $52 a night gets you in Kyoto, Japan. It's not much, but it's enough. Bathrooms in there. It's our first morning in Kyoto, and we're doing Japanese breakfast for the first time. It's been 7-Eleven until now. We got the ridiculous.
Very nice. Very healthy.
This is the second time I've been to this temple. First time I came here was 10 years ago, and it was a lot less busy. We were gonna skip Kyoto, but my dad's never been to Japan and might never come back, so we had to show him some of the highlights. The first time I came here, I was trying to take pictures that made it look super cool and mysterious and like there was nobody here. And I was thinking about that this time. I don't really know why I wanted to do that even. It doesn't really tell the story. This place is always super packed. It's still really beautiful.
The Kiyomizu-dera is the most popular temple in Kyoto, and therefore one of the most popular destinations in Japan. The most surprising thing about this temple is that some people still pray here. I told myself that no trip to Japan would be complete without showing my dad some temples in Kyoto. But once we were here, I couldn't remember why I felt that way.
Downtown Kyoto. We ate right up there on the right last night. It was a great meal. We were the only people. And the lady even gave us an apricot for our Japanese rice wine.
I'm in Osaka, Japan, and me and my dad just got 2 tickets to the ball game. Found it. So, found our seats, and it wasn't too hard considering that this is what our tickets look like. Pretty hard to read.
Come by. You're excellent. I mean, I can't believe that. You really?
Oh, very good.
I could order 4 of these.
There was a little confusion when we were getting food, and I ended up getting kind of a lot of food here.
He wants a giant hot dog after this. Mm-hmm. Cheers to the baseball game. Hey, we're at the Osaka Buffalo game versus the Fighters. Shohei Ohtani's team. This young man is a Shohei Ohtani fan. Used to watch him when he played here. And it's a great game. And the rooting sections are as exciting as any college football team in America.
It's pretty fun.
Baseball is the most popular sport in Japan. Turns out, going to what we call America's pastime is one of the most Japanese things you can do. Baseball has been played in Japan since the 1870s, and now around 5% of the entire population play it recreationally.
What we noticed, they don't show replays unless it's really close. Almost every play, if you missed it, you missed it. If it's super close where the umpire needs to review, then they show the replay. So one of the funny things about traveling with my dad is just seeing what he's interested in. For example, right now we're at this epic samurai castle in Wakayama. And so far he's just spent the whole time like taking pictures of little like trees and rocks and a sign at the restaurant that said Kobe beef, but we're not in Kobe.
The first time I came to Japan, I went to Osaka Castle. It was so much busier than this one. The Wakayama Castle had a group of people in it, but it wasn't busy. It's an incredible garden in the back and awesome views of the city. And Japan has tons of samurai castles just like this one. Unless you're a castle connoisseur, I don't think it would make a big difference if you see a famous one or not. The problem with tourism in Japan isn't that there's too many tourists. It's that we're all going to the same place.
I will say though, we are easily the only white people at this castle. So maybe the problem is just even getting foreign tourists to come to places like this, which are definitely highlights, but they're just not in Kyoto or Tokyo.
One of the more annoying things about Japan, one of the only annoying things about Japan, is that there's no public trash cans. So if you get street food and you forget a little plastic bag, you'll just be carrying it around forever.
The deeper we get into this trip, the more I'm appreciating how road tripping around all these small little towns kind of leaves a lot of room open to find something weird and random and unexpected. Like this crazy underwater viewing platform. We're literally beneath the sea.
This is Nicholas, and would you please describe what the name of that waterfall is?
Nachi Waterfall from Onsen. This is the most beautiful spot in Japan so far, I think.
No, it's not. We've had really beautiful spots. These are all amazing. The Japanese is it's just beautiful, and the people are really nice. The food, would you describe that food? Ooh, that was good this morning.
So the first time I came to Japan, I really wanted to come here, but I couldn't afford it. I didn't have a JR pass, and I couldn't rent a car, so I never did. But we finally made it 10 years later. I'm really excited to see this place.
Another reason why Japan is so popular to visit is because it's so clean. And that has more to do with these temples than you think. Despite religious buildings being some of Japan's primary attractions, it's pretty hard to understand what religious life is actually like in Japan. There's a few reasons for this. Japan has two primary religions that coexist and are often worshipped in the same place. The pagoda is for Buddhism, and these temples just a few hundred feet away are for Japan's indigenous religion, Shintoism. These two religions are non-exclusive of each other and have been essentially combined. Many Japanese people participate in rituals for both religions at certain times of the year, and it's not uncommon for Japanese people who say they aren't religious to participate in religious rituals during the New Year's and other holidays. Even though as many as 70% of Japanese people identify as non-religious, the influence of these two faiths is still extremely visible in Japan. How? Purity and cleanliness are some of the most important values in Shintoism, and Zen Buddhism treats cleaning as a spiritual activity in itself. Although it's basically common sense, I don't think Japan's cleanliness gets nearly enough credit for inspiring its popularity with tourists. This culture of cleanliness was historically important in warm, humid environments like Japan's, where food could go bad quickly and disease spread easily.
Been to a lot of temples in Japan, but this one definitely takes the cake. And this tree behind me also takes the cake for best tree in Japan. It's insanely big and old. It's the first Shinto shrine I've been to that feels really active. Like there's a lot of worshiping going on, a lot of people just saying prayers. There's even a monk present. There's a lot of backpackers walking in who looks like they're just finishing hiking the Kushimoto. Definitely want to come back someday and hike that whole trail.
All this cleanliness hides another part of Japan that is actually really fake. These forests. It's easy to see how clear the water is in Japan and how little trash there is and think that the nature in the Japanese countryside is pure, but it's not at all. The forests surrounding Nachi Waterfall are some of the only old-growth pristine forests left in the country. The vast majority of forests in Japan are planted and harvested regularly to support the country's massive lumber industry. If you look closely when you drive past the trees here, it's just a single species that's been planted in rows.
The problem with Japan being so photogenic is you start to realize that you're just taking the same pictures that everyone else is.
So did we find the real Japan? I think so. Most of the time, real life stops happening the second you turn on the camera. If there is such a thing as the real Japan, then the best way to find it is by meeting its people. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and catch our next one, where we look for Japan's best hot springs.